Everybody's cameras
How many licks does it take to get into the center of a Tootsie Pop?
Guys, cameras are all screwed up. Hold on. Okay.
Oh, no.
I want to
Oh,
hear you say Juan more.
All right, we're good.
Like I want
Wait.
you to make an actual character who just says Juan.
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 Sorry, guys.
Anyway,
Juan
hi
was-
everyone.
We know the cameras are messed up. They're all out of order for some reason. I don't know why.
I am now a lady.
But keep going.
You don't want to be. You don't want to be.
Oof.
Welcome everyone to tonight's session of Emoris. We do have a couple of quick announcements before we begin. So, the first one is, if you haven't already, and I'm sure most of you have, we have our YouTube channel up and running. So, if you haven't subscribed, you should definitely go and do that. You can type in the chat !YouTube and it should pop up. Hopefully, Nightbot. And the link should pop up there and you'll be able to subscribe from that.
Just like that.
Just like
Yeah,
that.
look at that.
So, if you haven't already, go and subscribe there. On that note, today's episode of Emoris is episode 25. Next week's episode should be episode 5. We are resetting the number on the end of every episode to fit with the YouTube so that it is consistent. Saying that, if you've been here for the first 25 episodes, you rock. And our anniversary is still January 7th, so when January 7th comes around, I'm still going to make a point of it. So that's it. I mean, it's just numbers changing, that's all. But yeah, that's the bulk of my announcements.
I got an announcement.
Nothing else. Go for it, Griz.
We got a new show coming to the YouTube Swindler's Den. Q&A, as many of you guys in the Discord know. Sorry, my mouth's full. If you guys have any questions you want to ask during this episode tonight, leave it in the Q&A section on the Discord, which you can get to via the links in the chat. And yeah, it'll be coming out every... What day do we say? Sunday? Saturday?
Every week on a day that is in the week.
I think it's Saturday. I think it comes out every Saturday, but this first week we'll actually have 3 episodes, hopefully, with the Q&A. So yeah.
Yeah, so we're still figuring a couple of things out with the YouTube channel. Namely, so that Q&A session, we've already uploaded the Q&A for session 23, which was session 2. That's already up there. That has myself, Griz, and Esprit in there talking about, you know, whatever happened when they got to Recrovy. So go check that out. And then next session, which is session 24, which is the last one, I believe it's Felis and Chem.
Next session will be Felis, Chem, and I giving the questions.
And Griz. So stay tuned for that. We'll put it in the Discord whenever it's live, and I'll also tweet it out as we get the hang of things. But yeah, so more content's coming to YouTube, and that's really, really fun. So yeah, we're very happy about that. But yeah, apart from that, anyone else?
Stay inside, wash your hands.
That's true. There's been a spike. There's been a spike.
Well,
Okay.
there's been a spike in America. Let's be honest.
Still,
with that,
be
let's
safe.
get into the
Pretty up
game.
here.
Yay! So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and
America's
jump
on
into the
fire.
next session of Emoris. Let me pull up my crap. Oh, I have so much written today. I didn't even write anything for the previously, motherfucker. Previously on Emoris. The silver goat.
Except for the one thing he needed right away.
Yep. I wrote so much for like what could happen in this episode, nothing for the previously. So the silver goats had arrived in Recrovy, and you began to explore your new city. So while you've been here, you've been to visit a couple of notable places, including the Archivist Echelon, where you were first introduced to and talked to Asmin Yavadi, who was a longtime friend of Wade's and sister to Kev. When you went over there, you had quite a few revelations about what might have happened in the past.
Mm-hmm.
And after that, the groups, I guess the group sort of disbanded a little bit to visit the Convex Order, respectfully, variety of shops, and the sewers, where you had a nasty run-in with some monstrous little creatures. In this time, and in talking to Asmin, she told you that she would be looking to hire you for some, should we say, subcontractor work for her. She wanted you to go and retrieve a shard of flight rock, which is fairly new to everyone. The only two people who've seen it before are Free and Thyra. While she went ahead and researched into, what could have happened with Kev and also how to fix the situation that is plaguing Wade and Kev now. So, last we left off, the 4 people in the group, minus Lakian, were returning out of the sewers after your little sewer chewer encounter. And you began heading back to Asmin's apartment, where you were going to spend the night. Alakian is not with you. He is at the Convex Reserve. He's going to stay there for the night, as he can. So, the time is, it's later. You're looking early morning now, like 1 in the morning, because you've been out for a while. The streets are about as empty as you'd expect for a large city. There are still a couple people walking around. There's obviously like drunk people who are like coming down from their late night pub crawls, and kids here and there who are just getting up to no good. But apart from that, you all walk through the streets back to the large apartment building where Asmin's house resides. So, Silver Goats, what would you like to do?
Isabel did not walk back and went to find a fish market because she wants to argue about fish while drunk.
Okay.
You went to find a fish market at 1 in the morning.
Yes.
Okay. As you head out in the very, very early morning atmosphere here in Recrovy, you walk back to the familiar scene of where the market was in the previous day. And as you walk into the marketplace, you remember a heavily bustling, crowded place full of stores. People were buying and selling here and there, like all throughout the entire place. And as you walk in, it is nothing but barren stalls that are locked up, goods that are in cages. There's like a couple people here who are just like pissed by a lamppost, maybe 120 feet away, who are just giggling to themselves.
Isabel still has the half a bottle of whiskey and all the time in the world. She's going to take a seat and wait.
Oh
Okay,
no.
you begin to wait. Sure. The rest of you, what are you choosing to do?
Getting Wade home.
Yeah. Sleeping before we have to head out in the morning.
Yeah.
Okay. So you all head back to Asmin's apartment. She lets you in, no problem. And looks at the floor and says, "Well, I don't think there's much room for everyone, but I mean, floor is as comfy as it's going to be, so."
I don't
Sorry.
mind sleeping on the floor. That's fine.
Not a problem.
I like sleeping outside, so sleeping on the floor is probably more comfortable.
Yeah, you won't want to sleep outside at this time of night. No, I wouldn't recommend that. Well, make yourselves comfortable, and I guess, catch you in the morning. You will bed down for the night. Alakin, did you want to do anything before you headed off to bed?
Well, I had a question about that. Could I have gone to bed, like, whenever I got back from not meeting them at the Archivist Echelon?
I believe you went to the shops after that.
Yeah, but like after I got back, could I like have gone to bed then, and what time would it have been at that point?
If you headed straight back after you hit up the shops, I would say you would have maybe gotten to the reserve at like 9:30
Okay.
in the evening.
Okay.
So sure, but then if you wanted to.
Yeah. I guess just for simplicity's sake, I guess probably 10 o'clock would have been whenever I actually tried to lay down and rest. Could
Sure,
I
okay.
head out around town at about 2 in the morning?
Sure. Why don't you go ahead and make a stealth check as you leave the reserve for me?
I didn't know this was a prison. Fuck.
It's not a prison, but there are people still awake, and you share a communal room with people who just come in and out that are members of the order. So,
Well, that's a 13, only because I have a stealth of +9.
okay, sure, yeah. As you get up to go and leave, you grab your stuff. You are sleeping in a bunk bed, and there are maybe like 6 or so beds in the room with you, but only 4 of which are occupied, including yours. As you climb down and pick up your stuff, no one really seems to notice you, and as you go and leave, you seem to leave out the main door, and sitting at the desk and just glancing over to you as you approach, you see Keeper Pasho, who was the halfling person who you were introduced to when you came to the reserve, who's just sort of like looking at you, like slight confusion.
Fuck. I was gonna look over to him, kind of wave, just be like, I'll be back. Had my rest and, well, kind of bored, honestly. So
Yeah, they
See ya.
they look over to you, sort of give you a nod. They're like, "Okay, well, don't get in any trouble." Like as you go to leave, they like watch you very intently after your little encounter talking about Unroot. But they don't make any attempt to stop you at this point. So yeah, what are you gonna go ahead and get up to?
I guess what I want to do, I want to head out to the outer ring.
Okay.
And kind of just wander around for a little bit, feign being drunk, but at the same time looking for signs of Thieves Guild activity.
Okay. Fair enough. So you are currently, the Recrovia Reserve is in segment 7, which means you are basically like top left, if you're looking at a map. So you're in the northwestern side. So as you head out into the outer ring, it takes you maybe like 30 or so minutes to get there because you're basically halfway through. And how long are you running around the outside for? This is a big city.
Yeah. I'd say probably like an hour and a half to 2 hours maximum.
Okay, so you can make it maybe just over halfway around the whole outer ring.
Okay.
If you'll walk like 2 hours. Yeah, make a perception check for me.
Okay. Perception, that is a 21.
A 21. Okay. Great. Sure. So as you go ahead and walk around the outer ring, you walk for a while and nothing really seems to catch your eye on the outer ring itself. And as you complete your loop and think back, you start to think about all the places that you might have missed. Any like secretive areas that you know that thieves might have maybe put a sigil out of the wandering gaze of the Liberty Guard here. And as you go ahead and make your way back through on the other side, you do start to pick up a number of symbols, some of which are, engraved into small, like the faces of lampposts. You even have to pick up a couple of rocks and look underneath that seem out of place, and they do indeed bear certain phrases and words and iconography. The resounding idea that you get is that there does seem to be some sort of underground presence here in Rokrovi. It doesn't say much on how to get to where they are, who they are run by, what they are doing, but the recurring theme behind it is a grasped hand as an iconography, and often the words "the choke" appears. You get the sense that's maybe the name of them, if any.
Okay. Okay. I guess I will double check that I'm not being followed and then head back to the reserve.
Okay, so make another perception check.
Ooh, that's even better. That's a 23.
A 23. Yeah, as you look around, sort of coming back into the inner ring a little bit more, you keep an eye out, and you do see crouched on top of one of the buildings, there appears to be some figure who is just gently crouched there, trying to remain as hidden as possible, just watching you.
Can I make out any features, or is he too far away?
It's dark
Or
and he's a little
she.
bit far away.
You said they're on a rooftop, correct?
Yeah, they're just
Okay.
sort of gently crouched there, just watching.
Okay.
It's very hard to make out, but you roll pretty fucking well.
I am going to just continue the way I'm going, but then make a couple left turns whenever I can, basically trying to make a circle, more or less. Not super obvious about it, but I'm still trying to feign being drunk a little bit and
Okay.
kind of stumbling around if I can.
Make a performance check for me.
Okay. That is a 15.
Okay, good to know.
But I do still want to keep an eye on that form as I'm doing so.
Sure. Okay, so yeah, you begin to loop around a couple buildings, acting as well as you believe you can under the circumstance. Gently looking up every now and then, trying to remain stealthy in doing so, to watch the figure. They seem to follow you. But they stick on top of buildings where they remain as out of sight as possible.
Fuck. I guess I want to see if I can find a building where I can quickly get up to the roof, if I can,
Okay.
to try and meet this person.
Sure. I'll say it's not too hard to find as you approach the inner ring more so. You find a building that appears to have access to the roof at some point, but you'll probably have to go inside to get to it. And as you go and sidle up to the doors and just they are locked, as it is about 4 in the morning, 5 in the morning at this point.
Okay. This is probably a stretch, but is there any kind of ladder or fire escape on the outside that I could possibly use?
I'll say sure there is. generally not used in fantasy, but I'll allow it this one time. There is some form of ladder there. It is a jump to get to it. It may be like 20 feet up in the air, so you would have to make a significant attempt to try and grab it and pull it down.
I don't want to try. I don't want to cause too much commotion. I guess what I'll do now is I'll be extremely obvious. Look directly at the figure and just whistle and beckon them down.
Okay, you do so. They do not appear to move.
Does their posture change at all? Like,
Not particularly.
okay. All right. In that case, I guess I will try to pull down the ladder and try and get up top.
Make an athletics check for me.
Athletics.
Yep.
15.
Sure, that's 20 feet up in the air. All right, I'll allow it.
Give it a running start and just run up the wall a little bit there.
It takes you more than one time to get up there, and the figure is just watching you this whole time as you like. Sort of like have to back up, and then do a run and jump off the wall and like push yourself up, and you eventually grab it, and you're just dangling there before it comes down and you start to climb up. As you climb up, the figure stays where they are, except they sort of straighten up a little bit. As you turn to face them, you see darker armor of like a dark gray and a deep black. Not a hooded figure; they appear to be tabaxi, of like a sort of like yellowish fur with dark spots over, and there, pinned to the chest area, you see a familiar sight of a badge of an inquirator of the Monastery of Shadow.
Fun. All right, it's kind of where I figured this was going. Fuck.
They just sort of lean there against against the doorway, just sort of arms crossed, just looking at you.
I'll just kind of cross my arms, kind of mimicking them, and then just wave a little bit. Just like, hey there.
Hello.
Who might you be, if I have the pleasure?
I am Inquirator UFO of the Monastery of Shadow.
UFO?
UFO. UFFO.
Okay. UF.
Unidentified flying friend object.
Unidentified flying feline object.
Feline object, yes.
Flying feline object.
I was gonna go for unidentified flying.
I love
furry
it.
object.
Okay.
I think we all had good ideas.
Well, judging by your tracking of me, I would assume you know who I am.
Yes, I do. Like these big, like greenish eyes just staring at you, like a slight smile cocked.
Might you be so kind as to tell me why?
I have been tasked by a superior to just, keep an eye on you. To make sure you aren't getting into any trouble of any kind. So far, I am not convinced that you are not.
So, More people who don't trust me. Well, I can't say that I'm surprised. That's for sure. You know what? Let's go back to the reserve where we can talk a little bit more privately, if you don't mind.
Respectfully, I am not going to be talking to you about any of this. You will find out soon enough. But for now, I am only tasked with watching and following you. You know, keeping an eye. I imagine someone will have things to say to you soon.
And am I to assume that would be one of the masters awaiting me?
The figure sort of just turns and looks to the back of the roof, away from you. Sort of shrugs, says, "I don't know. You will have to see." And they just leap off onto the next roof. As they do so, they turn back to you and say, "I would recommend that you head back to the reserve for tonight. You'll have a day tomorrow." They begin to just walk away.
Nice meeting you too. And I'll go back down the way I came.
Okay,
And then head back towards the reserve.
fair enough. Izzy, how long are you waiting for the fish markets?
Isabel is a stubborn woman, so she will wait until someone shows up, and then she will buy the biggest, most obnoxious fish she can get from him.
Okay, sure, yeah. You wait until maybe 5 in the morning.
Can do.
Until people start coming up and starting to set up their stores. You see there is one person who you surmise is in the fish area of the market. They appear to be furball, male, about like just under 7 feet tall, with like curly reddish hair, and like slightly bluish skin. Just like a generally like nice, pleasant demeanor, so like chewing on a long piece of barley. And they begin to set up their fish for the day.
I will walk over and go, "I'm looking for fucking the big fish." I no.
Yeah, you watch as he like his head turns to you and the eyes kind of like blink slowly. He's like, "Hey man, we got all kinds of fish here. What are you looking
I
for?"
don't. Something big.
Mm, a big fish.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can probably do that for you. So like stares a little bit.
Well, stare back.
Here at my selection that I have. And you see there are like an array of larger fish. They aren't quite set out yet. He's just sort of put boxes on that he's been loading up from a cart. There's fish from anywhere from this length to this length.
Is there no real big fish? All right, I'll grab the 2 of the biggest fish I can get.
Okay, I don't know what fish are. Let's say 2 tuna. Why not? That sounds big.
Those are from the ocean, buddy.
I know, but
Not sure if
they have imports.
Okay. I want you to know that tuna are fucking massive.
You get a fish about this big, times 2.
I get a big fish. Yeah.
And he's like, "Okay, man, that'll be for you. We'll say about 4 silver."
At 8, I'll give him 6 accidentally, and then leave.
Yeah, he just this big like a hairy hand just comes over and like engraces yours and like pulls the coins back. He's like, "Thank you very much. I'll see you soon." And you're already walking away.
So tuna can reach up to 13 feet.
Yeah, you still
And
one of
weigh
those.
Yeah.
It's like a 2 or 3 foot bush. Let's say
Yeah.
that.
I don't know. A salmon.
Yeah.
Salmon are pretty big. I don't know. I don't know fish, but I know tuna are fucking massive.
Catfish tend to range in small to large sizes.
I'll look at some catfish. Let's look at that.
Yes.
I'll get Wade to cook it. I'm sure
Yeah.
he's cooked catfish
Good to know.
before.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Right, I have to go get my stuff real quick because it's just arrived. So as you begin to wake up, we'll start with the 3 of you who are in Asmin's house. You will begin to rouse from your sleep to a gentle ray of sun. We'll say at about like 6:37 in the morning. You begin to awaken from your sleep. Isabel, where are you going to sleep?
I will go back to where Asmin is.
Okay.
Oh
Where they
dear.
are with the fish.
So you are awoken by the door. And Isabel comes in, 2 large fish in either hand.
Wait. I got fish. I show him the
Oh
catfish.
my lord.
Oh my god. You catch those yourself? I am impressed, Izzy.
I bought them from a big furry cow man.
Oh. Okay. Yeah, cool. That's cool. What do you want to do with them?
I want to eat the fish, Wade. That's
You
why I bought
want
fish.
a tuna fish sandwich? You want
These aren't tuna, these are catfish.
fry it, put it in a stew?
Mash them, cook them, stick them in a stew. I've never made fish before. I assume you being around water most of your life know how to fish.
Oh yeah, I've had plenty of catfish.
So do things with the fish.
Okay,
Right?
sure.
I'm gonna drop them on you.
You
Is
okay?
it Joe?
Things with the
Have you slept yet?
I have not, and I'm not going to. I need sleep. I need fish. I'm gonna sit in the corner and drink. Continue drinking the last little bit of the whiskey.
Oh my god, that smells terrible.
It's fish.
I'm talking about the whiskey.
Well, you're drinking last night as well. It's alright.
I know, that's why it smells terrible this morning.
I think someone might have a headache. Maybe we should play some bagpipes.
Ooh, bagpipes. Yeah, I got my
You
banjo
don't-
too.
You don't get
Please
hungover if you
do
don't
not.
sleep.
Please
Wait,
do
you
not.
can't sleep? We have a mission to go on, Izzy.
So I'll look at you with my fucking bloodshot eyes and like the bags underneath them and go, I'm gonna keep drinking now. Let's go back to drinking.
Yeah, okay.
Let's just stare at Wade take us cooking fish.
I'm gonna be the annoying little sister, and I'm gonna play the bagpipes
Oh my lord.
for free.
I just want to also say that we're in an apartment building.
Yep.
You're
Oh.
the
And
fucking
there's no
worst.
DM around.
There's no DM
Oh
around.
no!
It's free reign.
Oh no!
my
Oh
God.
no!
Oh no. We're like dogs without horses. I don't quite know what that means, but I heard it from John Mulaney. It means something. Let's fucking burn everything. I
Oh,
kill
my
God.
lord.
I God.
Are you seriously gonna start playing the bagpipes?
Yep.
Oh my.
I know I've never played D&D without a DM. It's
To
very
fry.
freeform.
Or to play, to fry, to play. Ooh.
I say we fry. So I killed God, Equa.
Oh, which one?
I don't know. Roll.
Roll.
Let's see which one it is.
Felis is captain now.
It is a 6. Okay, so you've just killed Pelor.
Oh yeah! Fuck you, sunlight.
So we'll have,
Oh.
ramifications on the whole rest of the campaign for that. But no, what'd you guys
The
do?
world is plunged into 1,000 years of darkness.
Syra found out that Free is hungover and has a headache, so she
Okay.
started playing her bagpipes
Sure. Fair
just for like a minute or two.
And I'm
In an
frying
apartment
up
building
some.
at like 6 in the morning.
I'm frying up the catfish that
In the
Izzy
apartment
bought.
building.
Okay, great. Yeah. As you begin frying up the catfish, you hear a little bit of movement from the other room over. There's like a.
I also just say
Oh.
Isabel is watching Wade cook. Like she's like in the corner, like on a chair. Like just
Okay.
watching him.
Sure. Wade, you hear that?
Jeffrey is trying really hard not to kill Thyra.
Insane.
And as the door from Asmin's room opens, you hear, and immediately, like sitting down right in front of you, looking up with these big orange eyes, is Jinsey.
Insane. What are you doing?
It's a cat. You have fish. Wade.
Oh, that makes sense.
You will just see,
Hold
like,
on.
looks up at you, and you just see this, like,
Hold on, Jinsey. I'm gonna cook it up first. Okay?
it's about this time that Asmin comes through, still in her, like, nightgown that she's been wearing, like, big tousled hair, that is clearly bedhead, like, rubbing her eyes. Like, what are you guys doing today? You're up early.
We're going to get your rock.
Fish.
Right. Yeah. You're up early for that. Did you find your friend?
I find fish.
Haven't started looking yet.
Nope.
Do you want me to send him a message or something?
Oh, you can do that? Like
Yeah.
via owl or pigeon or.
Well, I
Well,
could
if you
send
could tell him
Jinsey
where
if
we
I wanted
are.
to. Let me think here real quick. I don't remember if she has sending or message. No, she has sending. Yeah. Right? Hold on, am I getting
I think before he said sending, whenever we were talking about at the end of the last session, I think he mentioned
sending
sending.
is a 3rd level spell. She does not have it. I'm thinking about message. She's like, yeah, I could probably, I'd probably find something to send him a message with.
Yeah, sure. Let's do that. Get this show on the road. Sooner we can do this, sooner you're gonna be promoted. Sooner we can get Cave out of my head.
That's true. When I leave for work, I'll do some walking around and I'll see if I can send out a couple messages here and there, and we'll find them. For sure.
Good.
She told us like what general direction the crumbling mine was, right?
Yes.
talking
It is sort of towards the southeast, sort of. You could ask her again if you were unsure.
Sit over in front of Isabel for a moment.
Okay. Sure, you sit next to Isabel. You look over at Isabel, and Isabel looks kind of tired.
Bloodshot eyes and fucking bags just staring at your face now.
Izzy,
Yes.
have you eaten?
They're talking to me or to the other one?
Both.
Me? I got fish. I point at Wade. The big man, I can feed him easily, it's fine. He's not like super hungry right now. He's always hungry, but he's not like eat me hungry, so.
Alright.
Why do you ask?
Because if you don't eat, you're gonna throw up, and we are supposed to be walking a very long way today.
It is about this time, Isabel, that you've been awake for 24 hours, so I'd like you to mark off a point of exhaustion. On your
Okay.
character sheet.
I will do that somewhere. I'll find where that is. But yeah, yes. Point of exhaustion. I'll stare at Free and just go, but aren't we taking the cart? Isn't that how that works?
Are you planning to sleep in the cart, or are you just going to continue drinking?
I can do both. I've done both before in the past. I can do both. I can
Alright.
drink and sleep.
Alright, just remember we're doing this for Wade.
Aye, he's cooking me fish.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's about this
Alright.
time, Wade, that the fish is beginning to finish up cooking, and you watch as Asmund sort of like walks into the kitchen, like following her nose over to you, and she like, because the counter is still like a little bit above her height, and she like stands on her tiptoes, and she disappears for a second, brings back with like a small step stool, and just looks over at the pan, just like, wow, where did you find catfish?
Izzy brought it in from the market.
Okay. I
Reminds
gotta
you of
know
home,
who's
huh?
your vendor. Yeah, it does. I haven't had catfish in a while. Wow. Well, I'm starving.
Yeah,
looks
hopefully
to
it'll
be-
be good. Cooked it up with some lemon and herbs.
That's how I like it. And you watch a sheet. Because it sits down at the table and like grabs a plate and a knife and a fork and just sort of sits there waiting. So, y'all know where you're going today?
The Crumbling mine?
Yeah, but you know where it is.
Remember, no.
Okay, so the Crumbling Mines is southish of here. It's nearby a town called Rindleby, which is southern. And when you get there, you're gonna run into some people who are mining, and they're good people. They do their job well. They might not let you take the rock. So, just if need be, you know, just say you're going in to do something for the echelon, and they might let you in.
But you know, don't like kill him, right?
Definitely don't kill him. Why would you kill him?
We should pretend we're like mine inspectors, making sure it's sturdy and not gonna collapse on them. Like,
That's good. I mean, it's been collapsing for a while now, but that's good.
get them all scared, like we're like some sort of, health and safety board. And there could be severe
like that.
penalties if things are out of line.
I think, and she looks at you, Wade. Looks at you, Izzy, who is like dead tired. Looks to you, Thyra. Looks to you, Free. I think you should pretend to be the one in charge.
I would just like to say, that as a health inspector's like going to go check a mine out, that this medieval mine is in OSHA. Is that what we're going to check?
Wait and see.
Yeah. There's no bathrooms. There's no bathrooms anywhere here. Oh, we're just shit in that hole. Well, never mind. That's a different violation.
But yeah, eventually, the food is served. It's pretty good. Asmund seems to really appreciate it, Wade.
I make sure Jinsey gets a little bowl, just tiny chopped up pieces.
Yeah, you give him a couple of chopped up pieces and he immediately and starts eating it. There's that thing that cats do where they go and pick up like 3 cubes at once and then walk over to somewhere else and drop them and eat 1 cube at a time. That's what he does.
My dog does that.
My dog
Yeah,
does that.
I've seen cats do.
But yeah, food is served. It is good. You hang around and talk for maybe 20 or so minutes before Asmund says, "Right, I gotta get to work. I got a big day today. So I'm gonna give you spare key." And she runs back to one of the tables and pulls out a small key and gives it to you, Wade. She says, "Stay here as long as you need. Eat my food if you need to. It's all fine. And then, whenever you leave, just lock up, and I'll see y'all probably tomorrow when you get home.
Okay. And if you see our friend out there, can you just tell him where we went and maybe to come meet us?
I will do. I'm gonna go look for him on my way to work.
Right.
I would like to say that Isabel ate the fish with her hands.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
It's good. Got a nice, smoky taste to it.
That's not bad.
Yeah,
Ben will feed Chaos with the bead of nutrient as well, because fucking free reminder is like, oh, I should probably do that. Make sure it doesn't fucking eat me.
Yeah, you hear the familiar sigh in the back of your head. Aspen disappears for about 5 minutes and then comes back out. Hair still in a mess, but with a large hair bubble around her hand as she begins to start tying it up in her formal attire. And she says goodbye to you all and leaves. So, is there anything else that you guys want to do while you're here?
Sleep until everyone tells me to wake up.
Sure, you go and find a corner and just sit down, and the minute that your head touches the back wall, you're...
Yeah.
Are we just gonna wait around here for Awaken to show up before we head out?
I don't know. I mean, who knows where he is?
Someone should remain in case she sends him back this way.
Well, I just told her to tell him where we were going and to meet us there. But I mean, we might need him, so maybe we should go find him. I don't know.
We lecture him about leaving all the time. We should at least make the effort to include him.
Well, if you were Lakian, where would you go?
Well, he's part of the... no. Echelon? I can't remember which one it is called.
No,
Convex order.
Convex order. So, that'd be a place to start.
Sounds good to me.
He likes running in the trees. Maybe we can check them too.
Equa, is Asmon's house kind of on the way out of town?
Yeah, Asmon's house is in the outer ring. It's
Okay.
Close-ish to the middle line, but it's closer to the outer ring than the inner ring by far. Yeah.
Izzy, would you rather wait here and sleep or come with us to find a Lakian? Because either way, I think we got to come back this way to leave. So.
She's asleep. She does not hear you.
Should we let her sleep?
I think she needs sleep. Free's gonna find a bucket or something to just leave by her in case.
Okay, sure, yeah. Aspen doesn't have a bucket, but she has a trash can that you can just...
That works.
And then back up.
Just get a blanket. Slide it over her gently.
So you guys are staying here for the minute, or are you going out?
We're looking for a Lakian. We're heading out to find a Lakian.
Okay, fair enough. Sure. So, Alakian, as you wake up in the morning, is there anything that you're doing as you return to the convex order?
Well, I guess I'm going to go talk to Keeper Pasho and see if he has anything to say about my escapades from the night.
Okay.
Or whether
by the
he
time
seems
you get back,
clueless.
Keeper Pasho is seemingly retired to their chambers for the night.
Okay.
They do not seem to be up at this point in time, as it's maybe 6 in the morning when you get back. So yeah, anyone else that you want to try and talk to? Or anything else that you want to do?
Something that I want to do, but I also don't want to be gone whenever everybody gets here, and that's where I'm torn right now.
I mean, it's like 6 in the morning. We'll say that you guys are
Okay.
leaving at around like 8:30ish.
Okay, so I still got time.
Yeah, you got time. A little bit
Okay.
of time.
I'm gonna head over to the monastery then,
Okay, sure.
because that's a fucking smart idea. But oh
yeah,
well.
you head over to the monastery, and the familiar, like, impressive building with the black banners appears before you, and you go and enter. It is open at this early time, and around that central circular desk, there is, we'll say, an elven female with like long, like flowing, not tied up, but just like loose, sort of curly brown hair, like gentle features. Notices you come in. It's not so busy right now. Just smiles. Like, yeah, can I help you?
Well, the thing is, I'm not quite sure whether you can or not. I believe there might be a master possibly looking for me at this point.
Right. What is your name?
Elakian.
Wait here, please. And she gets up and seems to leave. You wait
I
for maybe
will.
like
Yeah.
maybe like an hour goes by before she
Fuck.
returns and says, we have someone who has taken note of you. He says to please wait in the convex reserve for him to meet you there later.
Later today or later this week?
No, later today.
Oh fuck. Okay, that's out of character. But anyway, all right. Well, I guess I can't do much else, so I guess I will do as instructed, and I leave.
Okay, yeah, thank you. And as you go to leave, you hear a voice in your head, Elakian, that says, hello, this is Yasik from the Archivist Echelon. Asmin is looking for you. Please return to the Echelon. Is that everything? That's all that you hear.
Oh. Okay. I guess I'll head to the echelon first.
Sure. So the rest of you, I would like you to make a group investigation check to see if you can find Elakian. And one of you can roll with advantage, or two of you can roll if you would like.
Who has the best investigation? Probably not me.
Mine is a +1.
Mine's
So
a
I guess Bree's gonna do it with advantage.
-1.
Go for it.
Oh god. You're muted.
Sorry.
What'd you get?
I got a 1 initially, but then I got the 17 on the... So 19
Okay.
total.
Nice.
Great, yeah. Free, you're on it. You're on the ball today. You're like, where could Elakian have gone? Well, he said he was going to go to the convex reserve. I'll check the convex reserve, and you go and check the convex reserve. No one has seen him in a while, but they instructed that he has left. Someone has seen him leave. And you're like, okay, where else could you go? Well, maybe to the monastery, and you go to the monastery, and you see him coming out of the monastery by himself.
Well, there's our elusive friend. And I'll point him out.
Wasn't a hard DC for this one. You know Elakian fairly well.
Good eyes,
gonna-
Captain.
I'm a whistle to get his attention.
That was way too close to my ears.
Yeah, like, and you hear this, like, high-pitched... I'm not going to whistle because of the compression on my mic, but you hear it.
Okay, yeah, I'll turn and look, figure out what the hell that sound was.
Yeah, you see Thyra, and Wade, and, like, kind of, like, holding her head like this, free.
Yeah.
I'll just kind of wave back and just be like, "Hi guys,
Morning.
how's it going?"
We're going to a mine.
Yeah, we got ourselves a job.
That's cool.
You coming?
Well, it just so happens that one of the masters of the monastery is expecting to talk to me today, later. So I'd rather stay here if I could,
You get in
because I
trouble?
feel like it might be important. I haven't done anything to get into trouble. I haven't been here long enough. Like my hands are raised, kind of like in defense. Like, okay, buddy, I get it.
Okay, yeah, no, that's fine. Dude.
Well, Wade, if you want him to come, we can always delay a few hours until after his meeting.
Yeah, I mean, I
It'll
guess.
also give Isabel time to sleep.
Yeah. I'm sure. I guess Asmund didn't say she needed it today, did she?
You hear Kev pipe up in the back of your head. She's like, "Nah, she didn't say she needed it today, but I mean, I feel like if we go today, then that would be great. We can wait a little bit. That's fine."
Yeah, I mean, yeah, until after. Okay, sure.
If you're sure,
Let
Mr.
Izzy
Wade,
sleep
this
in.
is for you.
Yeah, no, let's, well, I think I would feel better if, all the silver goats were there, so we can wait.
Do you know how long of a wait we have, Valakian?
Unfortunately, I do not. I was just told that it would be sometime later today. That's all the info I was given.
Well, if we go now,
Right,
maybe we can get back with plenty of time.
I was just told later today. I wasn't given like a rough estimate of time. Question mark?
Yeah, you just told later today.
Okay.
I'll say the way that they worded it was a little bit ambiguous at the time. They didn't say that it would be like late in the day. They just said a little bit later. So you surmise it could be within the next hour or two if you are lucky.
They didn't tell me exactly what time, but they did. It did seem like it would be relatively soon, I would hope. But I was also told to wait back at the reserve for this person. So I don't figure you guys are too keen on just sitting around twiddling your thumbs. So if you guys wanted to go do something,
Ooh, we
by
could try
all
and
means.
hunt a gator.
We tried that wait. Didn't go very well.
So that wasn't just a bad dream, okay.
No, it was not just a bad dream.
No.
You had a drunk girl push you into a water full of man-eating fish.
Yep.
I think I might be starting to lose my touch.
I'm not gonna lie, it felt kind of like a bad dream to me.
A couple of years ago, and we would have Had all of them in our net. That's all I'm saying.
Well, we can go see if Asma needs any help, or we can explore the city for an hour or two.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
that's right. I did just hear Isaac in my head said that Aspen was looking for me. Does that have
Well,
anything to do with you guys?
I mean, it might. I told her to keep an eye out for you, so she could let you know we had a job.
Okay.
So it might have just been for us.
Okay. Well, in that case, if you guys are headed that way, I guess let her know that you found me. And I'm gonna go back to the reserve and try to do some research of my own.
Fair enough. Hey, I have an idea. What if we go during this time? We do like some real investigating of the ghost skater. See if we can't dig something up on her.
I was going to suggest a library, so I'm fine with that.
We don't have access to any of the libraries, remember?
That we know of.
I mean,
There might be
Aspen did
other
say she could
libraries
try
in the city.
to get us in to the one at the Echelon, but
Well, no harm in asking her.
Yeah, we'll stop by. We'll tell her we found a Lakean, and we wanted to read some books. That'll take her by surprise. Trust me.
All right.
Great. So we're splitting up here.
Again.
yeah.
So
Temporarily, we'll come check up on him.
yeah. And you've lost Isabel as well. So Alakian, you head back to the reserve. What are you looking up in while you're there?
I guess I want to try to find anything on the Red King or whatever that guy's name was that they were talking about.
Sure. Make an investigation check for me.
Investigation. That is a 23.
A 23 on your investigation? Shit.
I've got a +5 to it, and I rolled an 18.
Well, alright. Looking through the books here in the reserve, they don't have much. It is mostly catered to what they teach at the order itself, specifically for student and advanced. There is brief mention in a couple of the books, not even a couple, maybe just like one book scrolled in to the side, that there is seemingly some sort of cult that has had many names over the past however many years that it's been established. They don't say how long it has been established for, but they mention that it dates back for thousands of years. They go by the Cult of the Scorched King. They go by Cult of the Crimson Scourge. A lot of like similar stuff that they don't really elaborate on. They just mention that the Order has had run-ins with them in the past, and they seem to have very, very small amount of members. It's not a big cult at all. That's pretty much all you get in the, let's say, hour that you are researching this. Before Keeper Pasho makes an appearance again, and so like walks up to you and taps you on the shoulder. They say, "Hey, what you reading?"
Just, you wouldn't believe me if I told you. Probably.
Yeah, they peer over the book that you're reading, like over your shoulder, like, okay, fair enough. You got a visitor. And so
Okay.
backwards out the door.
All right. Okay. I'll stand up and I'll put the book back in its place on the shelf, or books, depending on how many I have, and then I'll head out the door.
Yeah, they lead you into one of the side classrooms that is currently unoccupied. And standing in there, dressed in the attire of a master, you see a human man who looks to be maybe in his like early to mid 30s, completely blonde hair, who was just sort of like standing around, sort of looking around the classroom. Notices you come in, turns a big smile on the face. He says, "Right, you must be a Lakian."
Indeed, I am.
"I've heard a lot about you," and it goes to reach out his hand.
I'll take it, but kind of like a little lean back a little bit, kind of like hesitant, just like hi.
Yeah, he takes it and shakes it quite vigorously. You see like these blue, like very, very bright blue eyes. The hair's like kind of spiky in small, like weird places, almost like frosted tips, but they aren't frosted.
Okay.
He's like slim, but tall enough. He's like, "Right, well, I'm sure you're aware of this, but my name's Master Geth. I'm the Master of Stealth and Inquisition at the Monastery of Shadow, and I've been hearing a lot about you, you know."
Have you now? Any of it good?
Yeah. I'm working on it, is the answer to that.
That's fair.
Your appearance made quite the impact on our Keeper Pasho here. And he beckons over to them, and they sort of like, I'm gonna go. And they like back out of the door, not liking to be in the spotlight too much.
I'll kind of wave as they leave and just be like, okay.
Yeah, he says, they say that you've been on the rougher side in Urn Route in the recent events that have been happening there.
You could say that, yeah.
Right, well, needless to say, you've made quite the impression on them. And they said that you were indicted into the Order not long ago by one Master Haresh, who is a good friend of mine, actually. So I got on the phone with them, shall we say. Like, holds out a sending stone.
Mm-hmm.
Puts it back in his pocket and says, "They said that you are troubled, but talented. And I just wanted to come along and see what you were like."
Well, I'm here. Ask away.
Well, my first question is, what were you doing last night?
I'm gonna assume you want the truth, correct?
Preferably.
Well, I don't know whether you were filled in on this side of the story or not, but my compatriots and I were captured and temporarily enslaved by a man by the name of Vija. And I used to frequent the underground areas of everywhere. And I was attempting to use that particular set of skills to gather some information on this particular individual.
You see him sort of like look up and think it over a little bit. Right, well, she didn't say that you had a talent for waffle, but that's fine. Actually, that'll come in quite handy where we're going.
Wait,
Listen,
What?
I have been told a great number of things about you, and I'd like you to report back here to me, let's say in 2 days. I'm hiring you for something.
Might I ask what that would be?
Not at the moment.
All right, that's fair enough.
Good. Well, you'll be debriefed soon. I know Hresh said you had a talent for running away from things every now and then, so try not to do that this time. And I'll be back here in a couple of days to see you.
Before you go, am I confined strictly to this building?
No, you can go
Or-
anywhere you want, but I'd like you to be back here in a few days.
Okay. All right, I can do that.
Great. And he sort of claps his hands together and rubs them. Well, it's been nice talking to you, but I've got to run. He like skips out of the classroom. You see Pasha, who's sort of like leaning on the wall outside the door, sort of half listening in, and he like gives her a wave and a grin, or gives them a wave and a grin, and keeps walking on.
I'll just kind of look towards them and just be like, "Is that normal?"
Oh, for him, yeah, he's very chirpy.
Not what I would expect from a master of stealth, but fair enough. Takes
No,
all
he
kinds,
kind
I
of
guess.
subverts the expectations of a lot of people. Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna get back to work. So like avoiding eye contact with you and runs off. Cool. Well, in the meantime, the three of you head off to the echelon, which is not far away from the monastery at all. It's pretty much just over the river. And as you walk in, the familiar elf behind the counter is there, sort of nods to you all. He's like, "Here to see Asmin again?"
Hit the nail on the head.
I remember you with the weird elvish. I will let her know that you are here. And you see him sort of just like blankly stare off into the sky a little bit, and then just regain his smile.
Start walking toward Asmin's room and under my breath. Elvish. Yeah, what did he know?
Yeah, as you go and move past the reception desk, he's like, "Wait, please. She's coming to you." A couple minutes before Asmin like half jogs down the top of the balcony and down the stairs. She's like, "What are you guys doing here?"
Well, we came to tell you that we found a Lakean.
Oh, good.
He was wondering if you still want him to come here or not. I assume no.
No, I was just telling him to go and find you guys. My boss was not happy that I swindled him out of a message, but that's fine. Yeah, no. So what are you doing here?
Oh, we were just delivering the message to you, and then we were wondering if we could read some books.
She like looks back to the elf guy behind the counter who like gives her a knowing look. She's like, "What kind of books are you looking to read?"
What do you guys think's a good start?
Well, tales of people turning into gators and kidnapping others.
Maybe myths and legends. We're looking into the Ghost Gator.
Oh, okay. That's probably not too restricted. Give me a second. And she turns around and you hear her talking to the guy behind the counter again, who is seemingly quite stern.
And
but
some
eventually-
astrology books.
Some astrology books. You You see him like he's trying to be stern and regulated, but eventually you see his face slack and he's like. You see her turn around with a big grin. She's like, "You are allowed to come to some of the library with me, but not very much, and I have to escort you the whole way and watch over you."
Is that going to get in the way of your current work, however, though?
At the moment, no. I'm still in the early phases, shall we say. Okay, let's go. I can't wait to show you this. It's weird that you're reading, Wade, but it's fine. And she
I read
turns
all the
and runs
time.
up the stairs.
Come on.
I don't remember you reading that much.
I'm the best reader. Everybody in KJO knows that.
She turns back to the rest of you. You know, he used to spell his name with the E backwards for like years.
Damn it.
It took him until he was like maybe 10 years old before he finally got it. And don't get me wrong, nothing wrong with that. It was just, you know. Yeah,
The E looks
She leads
better
you
like
down.
that. I told you guys this a million times. It looks... You know what? You'll never understand.
She leads you down the long, like, balcony area, and down a number of different corridors before eventually you come to a very, very vast and impressive library of, like, books in bookshelves that are maybe, like, 50 feet tall, that just come up and they have rows on rows on rows of them, and they line the walls. And there's maybe, like, 6 or so rows in the front part, and then there is a barred gate, and then more and more and more behind it. This is a very extensive library. So, what are you all looking for specifically?
Verbally picture books.
Oh man, I was gonna say that.
Ah. Beat you to it.
So, are we all doing one book each, or are we doing just the Gator and astrology?
I wasn't going to be specific to looking for gators. I was going to look for people who change form, or kidnap, or better yet, both together, as people going missing and tales of shape changers.
Okay,
the
so Free,
area.
make an investigation check for me, and you can have it with advantage because Aspen's helping you.
Ooh. All right. Those both sucked. I only got a 10.
A 10? Yeah.
Yeah.
As you go ahead and say to her what you're looking for, you watch as she's like, okay, give me a second, and you watch as she starts carving something in the ground with a piece of chalk. And it takes her maybe 10 or so minutes to do it before she places the chalk down and puts her hand in the center of it, and suddenly this light and a almost like it's translucent or opaque. This disc appears underneath of her feet, and she begins to lift off the ground. And she commands it over to a number of the bookshelves and starts flitting through the top of them before coming back. I'm sorry, I can't find anything. Maybe it's in the more restricted section?
Fair enough.
We should sneak into the restricted section.
You watch as she turns to you. Wait.
Aspen, is there a way to get access to people who've gone missing in the town within the last 2-3 months?
Is that what you're trying to investigate for?
No, it's just an off-the-cuff question.
Okay. She's like, we might have something like that in here. I mean, you could probably ask the Liberty Guard, maybe? But I don't know if y'all have ties with them or not. So, I don't think they might not give it to you.
Alright, well, I'm looking for books on astrological lore or constellations.
Okay. So go ahead and make an investigation check with advantage.
Oh, advantage? Or...
Well, Dyto is rolling. When would I wake up at this point?
They've only been gone for a couple of hours. Are you elf or half elf?
I am half elven.
So you don't get the 4 hours, you get the 8 hours.
Yeah.
At the moment, you have not woken up.
Fuck.
Uh,
The stuff
I
I
gotta-
look up in Libert.
17.
A 17? Yeah. You watch as she comes back up on the disc and sort of scans the top of the shelves. It takes her maybe 10 or so minutes before she finds a book on various constellations, what they believe is could be the solar system here in this fantasy world. It makes note of the 2 moons in the sky, the nearby planet that comes out at nighttime, which is called Jastra. It's Jastra, and a couple of the star formations that are up there. Is there anything specific that you want to look for in the book now that you have it?
Yep. See if there's any constellations that might sort of kind of resemble an eye, or lore about, I don't know, stars aligning to look like an eye.
Okay. So, in flitting through the book, you find a number of different constellations that resemble various different things. A number of them have different names. Some of them claim to be like a maiden, or like a sword, or a snake. There are a number of different things. The one thing that you do seem to take note of that might somewhat resemble or have control over the stars is Sehanine, which is also known as the Moon Maiden, who is a deity who is favored by wanderers and people who appreciate that sort of thing. But it notes that there has been several different deities over time that have intervened in visions of, stars shifting, earth moving, people reappearing. There's all sorts.
And what was her name again?
People generally refer to her as the Moon Maiden.
Okay.
So yeah, that's what you find. Wade, what are you looking for?
2 things. One, I don't know if they'll have anything even similar to this, because there'd be... okay, so first thing Wade wants to look for is Keijo records. I feel like it'd probably be kept in Keijo, but you don't know. The biggest town nearby might have records.
Make an investigation check. This is just well, you can have with advantage, but it's going to be a very high DC.
Okay. With advantage is good because that was an 8. 12.
12. Yeah, they don't have any records of Keijo in particular. They have records of sightings around Rakrovi and other big cities of various things, whether it be bandit activity, nature coming to full force, whatever.
The other thing would be, while I'm looking, I want to keep an eye out for myths and legends of the region.
Okay, so make another investigation check with advantage.
It's a 9.
A 9?
Yeah.
Rough deal.
Yeah, this is rough. This library sucks.
She's like, well, hold on a minute. You haven't been to the backside, which I can't allow you access to, but it's a lot better over there.
Well, I have a question for you. If you're allowed back there, why don't you just go back there, get us the books, and then come back here? You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I could do that, but you're not allowed to take books outside of the area that they're in without permission, and I think they'd see through me. So,
Okay.
I can go take a look while you're gone.
Yeah, that would be great.
Okay, I'll add it to the list. Alright, so, y'all looking for anything else over here?
Well, how long has it been?
At this point, close to an hour.
I would say no for now, just because we don't know what everybody else is up to. We should go try and wake Izzy and.
Oh, you want me to send her a message? No?
Yeah,
Yeah,
sure.
that's fine.
Okay, I gotta go find my boss. I don't think he's here yet. But I'll see what I can do. She just watches, she like kind of like giggles at the prospect. And then she's like, okay, well, I gotta get back to work. So
I'd like to
if
meet
y'all
your
need
boss.
anything,
He sounds fun.
he's he's not a big joker like us, but he's fun to prank. You'll meet him someday.
Did you pass on those messages from yesterday that we spoke about the picture that Thyra gave you and
Oh, that we know about the artifact.
Yes.
Oh yes, I had a blank DM moment there. She's like, yeah, I passed him on. I left him a note in his office. He was only in here real quick earlier today, and then he left to go do something. I don't remember what it was. But he'll be back around lunchtime for me, so I'll remind him. That's what I'll do.
All right.
But yeah, anyway, I'll see you guys probably tomorrow. If you're around.
Yeah,
Well, hopefully we'll be back with everything you need.
Hopefully.
no, don't you worry about a thing. We'll get in there into those caves and we'll get that flat rock for you. Nothing to worry about.
I would need that, and that'd be nice. Thank you, Wade. And she begins to take the books back and put them back on the shelves and lead you guys out of the echelon. And that is where we're going to go ahead and take our break. So we'll be back here in like 10-15 minutes. And Isabel will probably wake up because I want to get Felis back in the game.
Yay!
So don't
I
go
want to
anywhere.
look things up in the library. So I have to send
Make
notes
sure
fucking-
you...
Oh.
Shame. Make sure you go ahead and get some snacks or drinks or whatever. And we'll be back here soon. So don't go anywhere. We'll be back in like 15 minutes. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Was that the queue?
Yeah,
You didn't say
one
go.
one is usually the queue. We go on one, not on go. Okay. How we
That's
do
confusing.
things.
I feel like one should be one.
So we're
second.
we're
Anyway,
on.
we're on. Welcome back, everyone.
Okay, hi everybody.
So,
It's us.
as you guys leave the echelon, are you meeting back up with Alakian?
Yes.
Sure. So you begin your walk back to the Convex Reserve, not the monastery. And it takes, I don't know, without the use of a cab, it takes, the reserve is always off. It takes maybe like 20 minutes to get back to where it is. But eventually you do get there. Alakian, what are you doing while you're there? Just waiting around.
How long after what's his face left would I have had until they come back?
Honestly, about the time that it took them to get there. So I will say your encounter will probably run a little bit longer because you're doing solo research at advantage. So I'll say 15 minutes.
Fuck. Okay.
Not that you would know that.
Am I
No.
awake?
Not yet.
Fuck. I guess after Master Geth left, I will go and talk to Keeper Pasho and see if I could get in a quick lesson with somebody, if possible.
Okay. Keeper Pasho responds and says, "Well, yeah, you can. It depends on how long you're going to be around for, because you'll probably be spending it with me. I got a little bit of work to do, and then I could maybe do it in like an hour or something."
Well, probably be gone by then. But maybe tomorrow we can get something
Yeah,
worked out. How's that?
We'll figure something out. I'll be
Okay.
here.
Sounds good to me. I will see you tomorrow.
I'll see you tomorrow. And yeah, eventually the rest of the goats minus Isabel make their way back to you.
Okie doke.
The rest of you see Alakian as you walk into the reserve.
You have your meeting yet?
Indeed, I did.
Ready to go then?
Mm-hmm. But I can't help but noticing we're missing.
Yes, she's
A-
to be picked up along the way.
Sleepyhead.
What did you guys do last night?
Wade?
You weren't there. I'd rather not. It's kind of embarrassing.
We went hunting for a crocodile. We didn't find one.
Okay,
Wade was the
I have
bait,
to stop you
but the wrong
there.
creature got him.
We weren't
For
hunting no
God's sake.
crocodiles.
Oh,
We were
sorry,
hunting
alligator.
alligators. Okay, don't even get me started. No, I would never be caught
So
dead
instead-
hunting crocodiles. Okay, why do you people keep saying this? Oh God.
So instead, Isabel decided to push Wade into a sewer full of everything eating fish.
Sewer
Sewer
Chewer
chewers.
chewers. That's right.
Chewer chewers?
Something that rhymed.
So.
And Wade got turned to mincemeat. Practically.
So. Isabel tried to kill Wade. but yet I'm the bad guy.
Well,
She was drunk.
Izzy wasn't trying to kill me. She was just
Wade
helping.
volunteered.
I was
Wade did
actually trying to get
volunteer.
in the water. And this is actually a common thing we do back in KJO where, you know, the water sometimes gets kind of cold. So if you just push them in, it's, you know, you get all in at once and it makes you nice and you get adjusted to the water faster that way. So I think that's all Izzy was trying to do.
Wade, why were you jumping into the water to try and catch a gator with things that eat everything?
We tried bait. We tried shining lights to see the gator's eyes. That didn't work. We looked around forever, and then we finally decided, you know what, maybe splashing around in the water might do something. It's worked before. Unfortunately.
I feel like that we is you and the other person that's not here. That's not Isabel.
You mean Kev?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
I out of character, I didn't say that because I picture we're still in the reserve, like right in front of the desk clerk, which is why I didn't say that. But it's whatever. That's why I kind of went about it roundabout way. Anyway, but
should we walk and talk maybe?
Yeah, probably. But I'm not done with this conversation yet.
That's fine.
Walk and talk.
I need to wrap my head around the fact that Wade and Kev thought it'd be a good idea to use themselves as bait.
I mean, okay, it's not the first time we've done it. Usually Kev does the baiting, so maybe I'm just not as good at it as him. But
I'm smaller.
It's a commonly known tactic.
In Wade's defense, typically when you go hunting and you're looking for a predator, live bait is usually the way to go.
Well, yeah, but you usually catch the bait, don't use yourself.
It worked with Daniel, God rest his soul.
But he wasn't you. He was a random goat. It's not like we tied you to a post and used you as bait for the werewolves.
Well, it's over with now.
Anyway, it turned into a bad night.
I can tell that.
Mm-hmm.
All it's still hurting is my soul.
And I can assume Free is to thank for that much.
I kept him alive, I suppose.
I guess I never thank you for that. Thank you, Free.
You don't have to thank me for that.
So, while we're walking back, Izzy.
You're still
you
okay.
Yes.
Asleep in the corner of Asmin's room in her apartment. You know, you're tucked away in the corner, and your eyes begin to just slowly drift open, and you are overwhelmed with a deep, intense feeling of nausea as you over to the trash can and commence to relieve yourself out of the front end in there, leaving behind this mix of awful smelling both vomit and also this like kind of sticky orangish thing that's in there mixed in with it. As you
Isabel's
come
gonna
to consciousness.
pick up the trash can, gonna take it outside, and it's gonna fucking what should she do with it? She's gonna put it somewhere. Hopefully, no one would touch it.
Okay. Yeah. Something strikes your memory. You remember the night before climbing up a sewer grate, and you just go over to it, grab it with one hand and just you hear it. Close the sewer grate back over.
Yeah, the sewer grate that Wade couldn't open on his own for like 3 times, just like, Herp.
Yep.
I
You
guess.
hear in the back of your head the familiar voice say, "You are harming us by doing that."
Don't really see how it's anything to do with you. If I want to fucking drink my problems away, let me drink my problems away.
We are connected.
And that's a bit of the issue there.
No
You're an
response.
asshole.
Doesn't say anything back.
Well, as soon as I fucking start talking about feelings and stuff, you're running away, alright? She's gonna start making her way towards where Asmund works, which I completely forgot what it was called just now.
Okay, sure. You begin to head your way back down to the echelon.
Fine. Avoiding
And-
boats.
Halfway down the normal route, you see the guys coming back the same way, pretty much coming from the echelon straight back to Asmund's house to come and meet you.
Hello there.
Oh, she woke herself.
Hi, Izzy. How you feeling?
Feeling great. If there's some weird fish that could breathe fire, it wasn't my fault.
What?
Just
Nope,
leave it at
I'm
that.
not gonna ask.
Probably yes. Is Asmund with them or no?
She is not.
I assume she's not. Damn it. Alright. Is there like a boat driver nearby?
I mean, they're constantly going up and down, so you can flag one down without
Alright.
relative issue.
I am going to write a bunch of words, a bunch of things that I want Asmund in her spare time, if she can, to sort of start researching. And I'll send you the list after.
Okay.
We'll go up to a boat driver and go, "Oh, you there?"
Yeah, you see what appears to be, let's get spicy with this. You know what, no, we'll keep it simple. You see what appears to be a younger goblin, female, with sort of like hair that's tied up into a bun, pointed ears, but otherwise, pretty clean features. Who is not currently putting anyone in the boat. Her boat is empty at the moment. She sort of comes over to the side of the river. She's like, "Right, hello."
I assume you know the Arcturus Echelon, isn't it? Big place, middle of the city.
Yeah, I'm aware of it. Yeah, the big fucking tower over there. And you watch as she points down, and there is just a big tower peeking out of the skyline.
Says, "Oh, yeah, that one. Could you take this?" And I'll hand her the note. Give it to Asmund, who works there.
Right. Okay. Sure. For that, I'll charge you. Oh, well, it's nothing. A silver.
Sort of thing. I'll give her silver.
Yeah, she. Right. What's your name?
One of Wade's friends. Let's just say that.
Okay. Sure. Cheers. And she just
Cheers.
paddles off.
Sorry about that. Right. So what are we doing now? I don't actually know.
Heading
Going
to a
for money?
mine? Yes, that.
All right. Why?
Get
I remember a lot from last night.
item.
I remember pushing him
for-
into some water, but I don't remember like talking about stuff.
To fetch an item for Asmund.
Got it. Fair enough.
Izzy,
All right.
you pushed me in the water because you knew that it's better to just get it over with quick and get all wet at once, right? You weren't trying to kill me.
No, I thought it'd be funny. I didn't say I had to kill you.
Okay.
Wait, why would I try to kill you?
I don't know. I mean, Lakin was under the impression you were trying to kill me.
If I was trying to kill you, I'd just kill you. I wouldn't push you into
You
water.
pushed him
Just do it
into
myself.
water with man-eating fish, and you knew the man-eating fish
didn't know
were
they'd
there.
I didn't know they'd eat him. That wasn't something I was aware of. I thought about after I pushed him. I was like, oh yeah, they thought of weird fish, but not before.
Before you saw them eat the bait that he threw in, and Asmund told you to eat everything.
I barely remember talking to Asmund after he left the fucking echelon. I don't remember everything that happened. I just remember that we went something for gator hunting, and then I remember pushing Wade, and there was panic, and then I woke up and I tasted fucking
There was panic
catfish in my
because
mouth,
Reed was
and
dead.
then I threw up.
No, I didn't die.
Sorry, it wasn't on purpose. I didn't try to kill him. If I was going to kill him again, I'd just do it myself.
Okay, I don't think you could take me. Be honest.
I'm going to look at Wade, and I'm going to pick him up with one hand.
Yeah, make an athletics check for me. Just
All
for the
right.
hell of it.
Cool. Let's see. Athletics. Let's see, where are my skills? With athletics, that is a 21.
21? Yeah, you just grab him by the alligator poncho and he's just sort of like dangling there.
Yeah, and I'm going to carry him like that out of the city.
It's impressive as well,
We
Izzy,
walk
because you
away.
are short. Like, even with your putting your arm all the way up, his legs, like, his feet nearly touch the ground. They're just sort of dangling there.
Alright, let's go. Sort of carry him
Okay,
for a while.
Oh,
Just to prove a point.
You can put me down, Izzy.
I'm going to keep walking until someone takes him out of my hands. Or tell you
You
he
hear Kev
escapes.
be like, I kind of like the view up here. I see far.
In a fair fight, we wouldn't be so close. I'd be further away, and you wouldn't be able to get me.
I'm just going to keep carrying him until he tries to get out.
Is Isabel walking in the right direction?
I assume I was walking with you guys. If you guys aren't moving, I'm not moving.
I'm just
Where-
holding
where
Wade as
do
a
you guys
trophy in
wanna
the middle
go?
of the town.
Yeah, I was holding wave. Wade.
I'll say Aston would have given you an idea of where the crumbling mines were in relation to everything. You know, southeast, about half a day's away, 3/4 of a day away.
Can I ask someone where that town of what Rumblevy was?
Rindleby, yes.
Yes.
Yeah, you
Like
flag
which
someone down.
road to take out of town?
Okay, sure.
Get
Yeah,
there.
you flag someone down. They appear to be a dragonborn, with like very dark, deep black scales and like piercing orange eyes. They say, yes, I know where Rindleby is. If you were to go to the south and keep going and then to the east, that would probably be the best bet. But if you are looking to travel on foot, that will take a little bit longer time. So I recommend that you go with a horse and cart.
All right.
But if you take the
Okay.
south gate, I think this will put you on the best way forward. Yes.
Which gate did we store picnic and
Lucky.
Lucky?
You stored them by the north gate.
Well, go that way. Yes.
Easy enough to do. You go straight down from where you are. Yeah, you're on the north side. So from where you are, you would basically go down the. You would go down one of the main roads up, passing panel trinkets, And as you take a left to go up to the very, very north, you pass by the Temple of the Protector, which Wade, you'd have a vague knowledge about, a vague idea of what that is.
Ooh, what do I know about it? Can't just drop a little bit
You
of
would
lore and
know-
not expect me to ask.
The Protector is one of the deities that is very, very celebrated, almost continent-wide across Emoris. You know, crowned as the father of all elves. His domains include very, very like artistry and magic and expressionism. Hence why he's so popular here in Rokrovi, where anyone is anyone. You know, no one looks twice at anyone here. But you pass that, no problem, and go all the way down, passing the familiar lizard folk farm that you passed by on the way in to get to the stables off by the north gate. You go in there, pick up your horses, and you can set off if you would like.
How long did you say it would probably take us to get there and back, Equa?
With a horse and cart, it'll probably take you about half a day to get there.
Okay. I was just trying to make sure that I would actually have time to make it back in time for my thing.
Yeah, he
If
said
I
2
went-
days for you, so
Yeah.
you are plenty of time. Yeah.
Okay.
Sure, but you begin down to Rindleby. So, as you leave the big open gates of Rokrovi, the Liberty Guard at each gate check people coming in and out, and they do so, but let you on through with no problem, as you came in that way. And as you go down the south side of the city and beyond, you are greeted to large open fields, a couple of patches of trees here and there, small little pieces of forest lining the road. Just a nice, pleasant cart ride down. So, as we head down the main road, you guys have a vague idea where you're going, so I won't make you roll for anything like that. But is there anything that anyone wants to do in the cart? Is it
I want to talk to Alakian.
Go for it.
Okay. I'm here.
Second, now I gotta find my note. Dyto has a bad memory. So I looked up some interesting stuff at the Echelon, and have you ever heard of the Moon Maiden?
I don't know, Equa, have I heard of the Moon Maiden?
Make a history check.
Okay.
Or, no, make a religion check for me.
Religion? Okay.
Yep.
I can do that. Drop one damn dice. Get that here in a minute. Religion, that is an 18.
18? You've heard of the Moon Maiden before. She is one of the core members of the core pantheon here on the continent. She is celebrated far and wide for a variety of things. She's a lot of people revere her as the mistress of love. But yeah.
Oh, well, that makes sense.
People pray to the stars when they pray to her all the time.
Okay.
You said this
Yeah,
was
I've heard of her.
Lune, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. That's what I thought. I got confused for a second because I thought I heard a different name earlier.
She has people. Some people call her Selune. In Emoris, a lot of people call her Sehanine.
That is what he said earlier.
She's very, very commonly referred to as the Moon Maiden. If you were looking for her, that'd be the best title to use.
Yeah, I was
You know
like,
what?
I'm pretty sure that's what
Yeah.
Griz wearing, but I couldn't recall.
Yeah, all the core pantheon have new names in this world because variety's sake.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
Well-
Awaken, you have heard of the Moon Maiden before?
Okay. I'll look to Thyra and just like, yeah, I've heard of her.
Well, I was reading just a little bit, and there are stories of her intervening and rearranging the stars.
Equal, was the voice I heard feminine?
It appeared to be feminine.
Okay.
I didn't have enough
I,
time to look up her specifically, but
Okay.
I thought it was
But,
a interesting piece of information.
yeah, that kind of makes a little bit of sense because the voice I'd been hearing was pretty much female. So that definitely makes sense.
And I'll also tell him like the general what you said, that they were like a bunch of different like constellations in the shape of.
Okay. Sure thing. Yeah. So you sit with Thyra for a while and recount different constellations that appear in various history books.
Okay. All right.
Okay, so everyone, I think it's best that we get our story straightened out before we get there, because sometimes that's where things start to get off the rails a little bit with our group. And Asmin did say she is the boss woman, and she said that Free was going to be the boss woman for this one. So what are we? What's the plan?
Go in and say we're with the echelon to make sure the mines are safe for further mining.
No offense to Free, but are you good at lying?
I would say so.
Wade will remember that.
Wade, you hear in the back of your head.
How much I've already told you.
Wade, you hear Kev pipe up. He says, "Oh, let's play Two Truths and a Lie."
Okay.
I was literally getting ready to say that. Like,
Do we check? Are we doing this to Free? What are we?
Yeah.
All
Gotta
right,
find
Free,
out if she's good at lying or
we're
not.
gonna test your line capabilities. Give us 2 truths and a lie, and we're gonna see if we can figure out what's what.
Oh crap! Put me on the spot here. Oh god. Give me a second. I'm just gonna check something before I start talking.
Yeah, in the meantime, Izzy, are you doing anything? We haven't heard from you yet.
No, Isabel is tired and
You
still
taking a nap?
hungover. So yeah, she's going to be asleep unless someone wakes her up for whatever reason.
Fair enough. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's easy enough to do. You just lie down in the back of the cart, put your head on like one of the hay bales that you have stored in there for the horses, and just watch the sky go by before gently falling asleep.
so who's driving the horses right now?
I am.
Yeah, it seems fine.
Okay.
Irish usually
Okay.
always driving the horses.
Well, you said that you were at the back talking to me. That's why I was asking.
I mean, we can say Wade took the
horses
reins
know
during
you
that
like
conversation, and then we switched
Okay.
again.
It's fine. Just wanted to make sure somebody was thinking of that.
Yeah. No, we set him to autopilot.
Set him to autopilot.
How did we end up back in the desert? What?
Wait, is that Daniel?
Holy shit, it's Daniel. Okay, sorry.
Yeah, you just see
Getting off
Daniel like
topic.
off on the hill somewhere.
Don't
like,
you
tongue hanging
start,
out.
because we will get excited and get sidetracked for episodes.
That's the next side quest.
That's gonna be a one shot that I do. The search for Daniel.
So free, you got your lies, your truths.
Yes.
I'm excited for this.
Staring intently.
Oh man, I've never actually played this game in real life, so I don't know what kind of things people actually pick for these.
Literally anything and everything.
Play it.
It's literally, you literally just could pick anything. Like, it could be benign, it could be serious, it could be backstory, it could be whatever.
Oh, I'll go.
Can I just pick favorites or something? I don't know.
You want me to give an example? You never played this game free?
No.
Okay. My first kiss was with Asmin. I love crocodiles. Secretly. Okay, I can't keep a straight face on that one.
No.
And my mom makes the best gator stew.
Okay, that was, obvious.
That's
but yes, I
obvious.
understand.
God damn it.
Okay. Here, I made a list. Okay. My favorite color is purple. I know how to play a lyre, and my favorite flower is a violet.
Can we do a deception check versus insight check to be able to tell Equa?
So,
Or is
who's taking the reins on this? I'll let one person do this.
I'll do the insight check.
You gotta be convene amongst yourselves.
That's fine.
There's one person's taking it.
Um,
Alright, Lakin,
okay.
go ahead and make an insight check. And Free, go ahead and make a deception check.
Equa, I'm going to DM you my result. That way it's not.
Everyone in the comments right now in the chat, leave what you think was the lie.
That's total.
Okay, Free, what'd you get?
23.
Okay. So, Alakian. She's a really good liar. You don't know.
I'm going to, in character, take a guess.
Okay.
Okay.
And I'm going to say you're lying about Violet being your favorite flower.
Ooh, I was gonna say that too, because I don't even think she likes flowers. She doesn't strike me as a flower girl.
You are incorrect.
All girls are flower girls.
I wouldn't go that far.
Wade, you should remember that for Cherry.
We will remember that.
So yeah, as the journey continues, you guys take about half a day. You hit your destination at about 3 in the afternoon.
Okay.
And it is before the town, like on the road beforehand, that you do come across a side track that goes off to the left of you. And looking down it, you do see signs of some commotion, a little bit of steam coming off of it. And as you squint down and look at it, you can indeed see a large force of people moving around the outside of what would appear to be a mine to all of you.
Are there any people about?
Oh, there's a bunch of people about in there. Not on the road where you guys are currently, but you do see that there's a cart coming towards you guys with a bunch of ore on the back of it.
Well, seems like we've hit the correct spot.
Do you think
As
we'll
we
look the part?
pass,
Go ahead.
as we pass the ore, can I discern what kind it might be based on my work in the blacksmith in Earnroot?
Make a perception check.
Okay. That is a 19.
From where it is, it's hard to tell. You wait for it to get close. It appears to be iron from what you could see, or some iron-like material. You haven't really worked too much on smelting ores from raw material. What you worked with was mostly ingots itself. But you get the sense this is probably just iron from what you can see here.
Okay. Okie doke.
As the person in the cart passes you, they sort of give you a wave.
Well, nod my head.
Just
Okay.
go straight past. And yeah, what are you guys doing?
So we got our story straight?
Bree does the talking.
I believe so. My only question is, how do you know which area this rock is in without being obvious that we're looking for it?
Well, if we have to go deep in the mine to make sure that it's safe for the miners to go in, that would explain why we're poking around in other areas.
Hey, did you guys forget what I'm good at?
What would that be?
Sneaking around,
Well,
not getting caught.
He is in charge, so her call.
How about we stick together for now? If we need sneaking around, then we can decide at the moment.
You're our sneaker guy. We need one.
Just throwing out options.
Isabel wakes up at this point and goes, Ed, what's going on? What are we?
Yeah, you guys are like stopped at the junction.
Oh, we're
Looking
here.
for.
We're in Candyland.
Who's in charge?
We're in Candyland, Isabel.
I've been there. It's not as great as everyone says it is.
Okay. Go.
Hi.
Wade turns the horses and you go down the road. It's not far. It's a couple minutes down the road on horseback, and eventually you come to the site of the mine. There are a number of entrances here, with like a makeshift hut outside near the entrance. There's a big open space of just dirt and like rock that people have pulled out. Little mine tracks that go in and out of some of the mines at this point that you can see. With a large presence of people. You see dwarves, you see humans, you see all sorts of people coming in and out. A bunch of them have their shirts off and are just like sweating all the way down, covered in bits of black and soot. Looks pretty much like a mine to you. As you pull in and park the horses, Thyra, you notice that a couple of guys that are talking just like turn and notice you. They start talking again, and then there's this one dwarf that just pats his friend on the back, and he goes off, and the dwarf comes up to you. He's like, "You right, you lot? What can I help you with?"
I would like to say,
Sir.
Isabel in Dwarvish will be like, "How did that?
You get
How's the mine doing?
now. Watch out!
What?
Shut up!
I'm just saying hello."
He's like, the notice of Thyra is saying shut up. He's like, yeah, no, it's fine.
It's
Is he
excellent.
good?
Pardon. It's been
Yeah.
a ride. People are a little grumpy.
Isabel in Dwarvish.
I'm
We'll
gonna cover
say
myself now.
Hey, let me do
Okay.
it. My leader here has something to say to you. So and I'll point it towards Free.
Yeah, he swaps back to common.
Oh,
He's
God.
like, I'm gonna have to ask what you guys are doing here. You're striking me as a little bit odd.
My apologies. Some of them have been on the road a little too long lately. Actually, we're here from the Echelon, and we just wanted to take a look around at the mines, make sure things are still at least stable enough, and that, I don't know, perhaps look at some ore purchases, things like that, you know, see what you're doing.
Make a deception check for me.
Can I add something to that? I'm
She hasn't rolled,
going.
so I'll say yes.
At the end of that, I'm going to cut in and just be like, they're from the Echelon. I'm from the Reserve. I'm going to hold up my badge, intentionally covering up the bottom part that actually shows the rank.
Okay, it's more than just the bottom part that shows the rank. The rest of it has like flares and bits of.
Well, the little, like the number part of it. Just kind of doing that to help out.
I'll say you get advantage.
Okay.
Sure.
Okay. That was a good thing, because I rolled a 2 on that one. But you said deception?
Yes.
A little better than last time, 24.
Yeah, you watch him like start to nod. He's like, okay, you look really weird for inspectors. Well, it looks over the way with
We've
the
all
gentleman.
Some very different specialties. I like to have a variety on my team.
Right, well, who am I to judge? We're in the great country castle, whatever. Come with me, I'll show you to the captain. And he starts to
Thank you.
walk away.
Blech.
Yeah, he takes you back over to that initial shack, which is fairly big for what it is. Sort of knocks on the door. Like, you hear this voice from inside say, "Come in," and he walks inside. You see, there's this long, like, rectangular shack, and the inside has, you know, a couple chairs here and there, and a desk with mounds and mounds of paperwork on it. Sitting behind the desk is a female figure, although hard to tell at first because she is a minotaur. Big horns that protrude from the front of their head and stick out nearly a foot to the front of her, with like thick braids that come down all over the back and the front of the fur. She looks to be of higher importance than you know, the other people that are here. She's got like this blackish brown fur, and you see next to her there is this very big, like heavy golden hammer with a bunch of like nice inscriptions on it. As he walks in, he's like, "Captain, I've got a couple of people here to see you." And you watch as she stands up. She's like, "Thank you very much. Please come sit down." And the dwarf turns to leave and he says, "Oh, by the way, before I forget, a bunch of people down in Sector 23 are complaining about the heat." And she, like, stops and thinks for a second.
We're gonna have to check in on that.
Okay, I will see what I can do about maybe sending some cooling stones down there, but in the meantime, tell them not to go soft on me. And he's like, "All right, Captain." And just leaves and closes the door. She beckons you all down to chairs, like, "Please, have a seat. What can I do for you today?"
Hello. We wanted to just take a quick look around the mine to make sure things are I forgot the word there. I totally blanked.
Operational?
Not
Operating in a safe manner. Maybe took a look at a few things that you mined recently at the same time. All for the echelon, and I don't know, maybe make profits on both ends.
Yeah, you watch as you mentioned looking for it to be a safe space, and she's like, you know, that's funny that that you think it could be safe. Have you heard this place?
Wow.
And you feel about this point, you feel it's like a gentle underneath of your feet as there is a slight tremor.
Well, as safe as you know, it can be made.
Make a deception check for me, Free.
I don't know. Which dice do I pick? They've all rolled bad once. 17. Not the greatest.
Okay. She looked you guys over for a second and was like, I didn't know that there was going to be an inspection today. This is a surprise to me, especially from the echelon.
I mean, let's be honest. We tried to. If we told you we were coming, you'd make it all look all purty, and then we wouldn't see your normal day-to-day operations, right? So.
Well, I suppose this is true. She looks back over to Free. She's like, I love your hair, by the way. I love what you're doing with it. The horns really show very nicely.
Thank you. I see you take good care of yourself as well.
Oh, that's very kind. I could not do the things that you do with my hair, you know. It would be too bad for me. She sort of like brushes one of the braids out of the front of her face. She's like, well, anyway, no, we can go and take a look down. I will escort you down, and we can go and have a look down there if you would like. My name.
I would much
She
appreciate
sort of like
it.
reaches out this big, heavy, so like hairy hand. She's like, my name is Captain Jestrin. It's nice to meet you.
I'm Free. Tiny,
Nice to
much
meet you.
tinier, smoother hand.
You feel like grip your hand and it like kind of hurts a little bit, but you watch as she picks up the hammer and just right this way and starts walking down and out of the shack.
Can I tell what the inscriptions are on her hammer?
Make an Arcana check.
So that's it.
I didn't even hear the part about inscriptions on the hammer. Now I'm sad.
Oh, that's not bad. 18?
18. It's hard to tell exactly what it does, but you gather the sense that this hammer is slightly magical. As you are like looking at it, she turns and notices you. She says, you are looking at this beauty, eh?
I like big weapons.
Oh, I can see this. You have a name for yours? She points to your big, like, obsidian axe.
Carabel.
Clarabelle, it's a very nice name. Oh, you see the name for mine? And she, like, turns around, still walking backwards, and just, like, boom, sets it down in one hand and holds it up to you. Says, to other people on the battlefield, this is the gore splatter. But to me, in secret, her name is Petunia. And she puts it back on the back of her hand and keeps walking.
I love her.
I love
I'm really enjoying this character too.
Petunia's the best name.
Thank you. And you see, as you guys are walking down, a couple of the other people, like a female and a male, just like notice this and start giggling. She's like, "Hey, back to work, or that pickaxe will end up in your head." And they say, "Yes, Captain," and they sort of run back to work. She like punches you on the shoulder. It's like, "We're just kidding."
Is it pure?
What would you say?
Is it pure gold? You said it was gold, right?
It looks to be of a gold color. She turns around. She goes, "It's not gold. It is some dwarven metal. I don't know. It has like a base magical essence, but I don't think it does anything magical itself. It's just been with me on the battlefield many times, and I have a soft spot for it. So carry it around anywhere I go.
It's a beautiful weapon.
Thank you. And she leads you guys into the mines, and the daylight fades, and you are replaced with torchlight. As you walk in, you feel another underneath your feet as some of the ground like starts to shake and bits of rock fall from the ceiling. Just like, well, that would be why they call it the Crumbling mines, as I'm sure you have guessed.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I assume because you are from the Echelon, you are here to maybe help with this problem?
If we can find a source and resolve it, have you found any indication of what that is?
It depends on who you ask. There are a couple of people here who say that they think that it is spirits who linger in the mines, who are seeking revenge. There are some, like me, who say it's probably like tectonic activity, things shifting under the ground. A couple of people claim to have seen some sort of creature who tunnels in the tunnels that we have made, but they haven't seen it long enough to make a description, so I wouldn't listen to them so much. All sorts of stories that pop up. But the one thing that we have noticed is that if you get closer to, sort of things for a minute, a specific part of the mine, then it seems to get a little bit more frequent than other places.
Is this a deep part of the mine?
Oh, this is not. This is near the entrance a little bit. You would have to go a ways inwards to find where it gets the most activity.
You paused a moment, though. What area of the mine is it that you're speaking of, specifically?
Make a persuasion check for me.
I'm even better at these if I can roll. And I can. Okay. Plus 9 makes that a 22.
Nice. Yeah. She sort of looks around. There's a couple of guys mining, and she's like, "Hey, you two, go take a break." And they're like, "Thank you, Captain." And they walk off. You get the feeling she's very well respected here, even though she, subverts expectations a little bit. She's like, "Well, I'm not supposed to reveal the area. We came upon a discovery many, many years ago, before my time as captain here, of some rock down in the center of the mine. We've been trying to get at it for a while now, but that is the place where the tremors get the most frequent and the most cave-ins happen. That's, any tunnel that we dig into that area mostly just gets caved in. We've not really lost any men, but it's difficult to get to."
I've heard information about you maybe speaking of then. Would you mind leading us there so we can investigate it? It would
I'm
solve
not
the
really
problems.
supposed to show people about it. I don't know if it's wise.
Isabel at this point is going to take out some gold and go, "Is there a way you can make it a bit for us to ease your conscience on this?"
Yeah, she looks at it and she's like, I'm so sorry. Is this how the Echelon operates? I used to be in the army. I'm not sure that this is really the direction that I want to go in. Make persuasion check is about disadvantage.
Disadvantage. Okay, persuasion. I have a +7. Haha. Let's see. Well, that's a 17. Thank goodness I rolled higher the second time. Yeah, I rolled a 10.
Yeah, she's like, wait, you rolled higher on the 10?
I rolled a 10 and then I rolled a 15. So
okay,
I rolled a 10. Thank goodness I only rolled.
I don't know if I could really take this from you.
I
Isabel
apologize for her.
will put it on the ground and then walk away.
I'm going to put my hand on the Minotaur's shoulder the best I can.
Like reach upwards and put your hand up.
Just to kind of get her attention.
Mm-hmm.
And then just very blatantly say, I'm sorry for our little friend here. She's a bit of an independent contractor that we brought along for extra security purposes. She's not well versed in the correct dealings of things, so if you could forgive her.
Make a deception check.
Yeah, and we are going to leave a bad review for you, Missy.
As you guys are throwing out a number of different stories at this Minotaur.
You said deception, correct?
Yeah.
That is a 19.
Okay. Yeah, she looks very conflicted in her eyes, and she's like, okay, listen, I will take the money. She picks it up, and I will hold on to this. I will show you to the place, and if you help us out with determining what is happening with the cave-ins, I'll take it. And otherwise, we'll just leave, and I'll give this back to you, okay? Okay.
Thank you.
He like puts it on the belt. He's like, okay. He starts walking further down into the cabins. Yeah, you guys pass a number of different people on the way down here, who are all in varying degrees of disrobement. Some of them are like, really sweating at the work, and it is hot down here. It gets hotter as you go further down, but you know, everyone's hard at work, and wherever she goes, people stop and sort of rib on her, and she ribs on the back. It seems like a pleasant atmosphere to be in. And as you get further down, the familiar just underneath of your feet becomes more and more frequent. Eventually, she brings you down to a tunnel, and you start to feel the crumbling start to pick up again. And at this point, you're used to sort of like staying together, and you know, sticking in a group so that the crumbling doesn't affect anyone outside of it. And you feel this, and you actually physically see some form of like movement from underneath the ground as bits of rock and just as something tunnels underneath, and you watch as Jestrin, who was ahead of you guys, sort of like steps backwards against you, or away from you, and is like, "Wait, everybody, stay still." There's a pause, and then from the same direction, another shape, something that you can't quite see, but is big and black, just straight past you through the side of the tunnel. And as it does, you are left with bits of rock, as there is a large cave-in that separates now the captain from you guys. As bits of rock just fall to the ground, one of them nearly like hits you in the foot, Wade. Who's in the lead?
I was following. Yeah.
Free, I'm gonna need you to make a dex save for me.
Oh no, Free!
Just plain dex save?
Yeah, just a plain dex save.
Yay! Oh, yay. I didn't realize as a bard that was one of my saves. Ooh! 23.
23?
Nice.
Okay. You take 2 points of bludgeoning damage as a bit of rock just falls and hits you just on the side of the arm, and it leaves like a little bit of a bruise, but it's otherwise okay. You hear Jestrin from the other side, who is now sort of like walking backwards. You hear her say, "Oh," as she appears to have been hurt by something, and then there's like a little hole that's left over, and you see her through the hole. She's like, "I'm okay. Hurt a little bit, but not too much."
Which way do we get
you
to
all
get to
okay?
you?
I'm not sure from here. Meet me back ahead, and then I will meet up with you at the crossroads. And she begins to.
Right.
So yeah, what are you guys doing now that you are on your own?
Do we know where these crossroads are?
Make an intelligence check for me, Sarah.
19.
Okay. These mines are like a fucking web. They go all over the place. Because of the nature of the cave-ins, they are constantly digging new tunnels, like everywhere. You have a vague idea of where the crossroads are, but you are not sure which one she's talking about exactly because it is so difficult to navigate around these mines, especially as a newcomer.
Are there
Not sure
workers
why.
around?
At this point, you've sort of passed most of the workers. This is more so in a deeper part of the tunnel, and it is fucking hot down here. It's you guys are like starting to sweat a little bit. It's not. The
I'm
best.
good.
Half Mizzy, who's fine, and a Lakin, I think. Is that how they
Why
I'm
would I
fucking
be
wearing
fine?
a goddamn. I'm wearing a fur coat, and I'm just like, yeah, man.
I'm
I don't know
fire
why I
resistance.
would be
I don't
fine.
know if that helps with heat. Well, two things. Now we pretty sure I saw something, so we know it's a creature. And I have a pretty good guess that the thing it's protecting is the floating stone. Which I was going to ask if you hadn't interrupted me.
Ooh. So now what?
Well, do we go back and meet her? Because I feel if we travel in further, we might get worse. More lost.
I may.
Well, as it is, I don't know which crossroads she's talking about. There were some there. There's a crossroads there. And there's another one a little further up. And behind us.
Yep.
Okay, just throwing it out there. We don't have to do this. Okay, you're the leader. You make the decisions. But
I
what
was
if?
just playing the leader. I don't have to be the leader.
No, you are the leader. You were designated as a leader. You're the leader. Okay. Well, this could be taken as an opportunity for us to go exploring a little bit now that we don't have a guide with us. Maybe stumble across them rocks.
It is, but the way forward was blocked.
I guess that is where she was bringing us, huh?
I was assuming so.
Well, there's a bunch of
How
different
far-
roads we could take.
How far back would we have to go to find a worker? Equa?
At this point, a ways away. I'd say the nearest crossroad is about 130 feet backwards, and it does split off into a couple different alleyways that go generally forward. The workers themselves, she's been dismissing them as you get further forward because she's still not convinced that you guys should let in on the secret.
Yeah.
So
Wade-
we'd be a ways away.
Wade is going to focus and point kind of his finger the direction of down the mine shaft where she would be, the Minotaur. And I'm gonna say in my head, how many words can I say with message? I don't know.
Well, let's find out.
Here.
I don't think it's a limit. I think it has to be within 6 seconds.
What do you mean?
Yeah, I don't
Oh,
think
it has to
the
fit in 6
message has
seconds. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
So Wade just says, which way do we go to get to the crossroads?
Okay.
It has a range of
Ways.
120 feet, and it can go through 3 feet of or 1 foot of stone, 3 feet of wood, etc.
Yep. You wait a second for a response. And you wait. And you wait.
Nothing.
Nothing.
Oh, that
Too
didn't
much
work.
stone. Too much stone.
Too much stone.
How about we travel to the first crossroads, wait a bit. If she doesn't come, then we do what we want.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Sounds like a reasonable plan to me.
Oi,
And then
nothing wrong with that.
at least we can say we tried to wait.
Yeah, so you guys make your way backwards towards the nearest crossroad. And as you reach it, you see that this particular one splits off into 6 different pathways, including the one forward and back. Like 3, including the one that goes forward, 4 of them lead generally in the one direction, although to different branches, and 2 of them lead backwards. Yeah, and you guys sit there and wait. Is there anything that you want to do while you're waiting?
I want to keep an eye out for the thing again.
Okay, make a perception check for me.
I want to kind of try to mentally map
Okay, not bad.
where we've been so far in the mine if I can.
As a mental map, starting from now when you're near the center,
Mhm.
you can make an intelligence check if you would like.
Would it be better if I had paper? Would it probably be easier that way if I kind of had a thing to draw out on?
I mean, from this point, yeah, but you still don't really know where the entrance was, because you guys have come through and through like a variety of different tunnels to get here. So you could start knocking off places that you've already been, or that you're going to now, but you don't know where you've been already.
I'm going to turn to Free and ask her for a piece of paper. So I can start doing that.
Sure. I will pull out a loose sheet of paper.
I got a 21 perception check.
Okay, great. Yeah. As you are waiting, sort of stand there, and being so in tune with, or being in here, which is the place which is very, very in tune with the earth, you sort of just gently push your fingers across what you recognize now to be some ore. It's almost strange to you because you don't ever use metal, but you just brush your fingers across it just to see what it's like. And as you do, you just ever so gently feel another rumbling through the wall. Whatever is happening here, it's happening quite frequently.
There'll be another tremor soon.
You said straight intelligence check for me, right, Equa?
Yeah.
21.
Okay, you can begin to jot down where you are going from this point,
Okay.
and including where Gestion was lost to you. But apart from that, I mean, I'll say that you have like a vague idea of the past like 4 tunnels that you've been down.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, beyond that, it's fucking hard to remember.
Okay, that's fine.
Isabel will sit next to. We'll go over to Free. I'll kind of give her a look up and down and go. I think you have a bit of a reminder in our lovely captain there.
I suppose.
That's.
I assumed it was just what seems to be her like for feminine things.
Could be. Could be that's a bit more than that.
Hopefully not.
Isabel,
I get the feeling you're not attracted. Oh. Huh?
You are like forever the shipper in this group.
I assume because Isabel has a very wide net when it comes to her sexuality. She assumes that everyone like her wants to have sex with most other people.
Everybody.
Essentially everybody.
Nothing wrong with that.
As long as they're like fucking over 25. She's like, yeah, it's an option. So Isabel will be like, are you not getting the feeling you're not attracted to the same sex as you, are you?
I'm.
Personal?
Yes.
Fair enough.
Not for nothing, Izzy, but I don't feel like down in a mine where most of us are sweating our asses off is a good place to talk about sex.
First off, I'm doing great. Like I feel amazing. It's nice down here, and I think everyone's panicking a little too early. If we're gonna die
Hey,
down here, we're
Equa,
not gonna die.
with my perception check, could I get a general idea of where the tremors might have been coming from?
You are trying to touch feel where a tremor came from. I'll give you a general 180-degree option. You can tell it probably didn't come from above you. Probably came from down or to the left or to the right somewhere. But yeah, it's not above you for sure.
I kind of suggest we keep moving because it's just gonna quake again.
Yeah, I'm with Thyra on that one.
I can feel it building in the walls.
Should we head down one of these English
Is hard.
pathways that we think we might meet up with her? Like,
Yeah.
did we see her go left or right? And then maybe take a path to the left that's going in the same direction? Or right, whichever way she went. What do you mean?
Yeah, you guys didn't see which way she turned. She just went down the tunnel
Okay.
until you assume the next area that she could turn off at.
I mean, we could all split up.
I
That's
don't
a
think
terrible
that's a good
idea.
idea.
Terrible idea.
That is a terrible
Right,
idea.
I don't like that idea.
I mean, we wouldn't be alone. We have each other.
Anyone have a dice set? Roll for it.
I like that Wade said maybe we should split up, and literally everyone said no.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
Say, even a Lakian said no.
I think
Even
maybe we
Kev
should
said
just pick a direction and just stick with it, you know? Just anyone.
Maybe we should just
Alright.
keep going left.
No, and with that, you left.
That's the rule in mazes, isn't it?
That's what I hear.
Yeah.
It's always worked
Yeah,
for
so
me.
you guys, you have,
Alright.
there are 6 routes here. There's the one that you just came from that was cut off. There's the one back to the entrance. And then there is another one that goes backwards somewhat. 2 to the left and 1 to the right that goes forwards.
I heard this one
Furthest
before.
left?
A minotaur in a maze? Come on.
I have a D2.
Classic.
Do you want me to flip it? Hold on.
Sure.
You
As
just
we're
have
going,
to
I'm
roll
going
a
You
to
see how I
d20.
just reached back there and found what I needed?
As we are
One.
going, I am going to keep marking off as we're going.
I assumed as much.
Okay, we're gonna take the first left.
Alright.
Okay. Yeah.
As
guys
we
begin
as we
to-
go to that left, Isabel will try to like mark onto the side of the wall an arrow pointed down the direction we're going.
Oh, I can druidcraft. I can druidcraft the same thing, and it'll be more permanent.
Then fucking sure.
Go
Sure.
for
So
it.
as you begin to walk down the pathway, Isabel, you reach up your hand, and as you begin to sort of like rake down the dirt, it's more so stone here, and you just look at your hand and just and these small little like orangish black claws come out, and you just carve in an arrow. And Farah just watches you and goes, "Huh." Boom, and an arrow appears from the side of the stone.
Okay, so with
Well, right.
Did y'all say you thought you saw something down here?
I thought I saw something cause that tremor.
There's like
So-
a big
Large?
black.
Yeah.
Remember what we did with the werewolves back in Big Dacky?
And then blindly
We
charge in and just kill
Killed
them.
them.
No. We when we had Daniel, we put the trap down, my trap, and then we lured it in with food. You want to try one of them again?
Wait,
Perhaps when we get
do you
closer.
even know
does
what this
this eat?
monster is?
No, but I mean, most things. Who says it's a monster? It could just be a bear for all we know. But most things, they step in traps and they get stuck.
Equa,
Yes.
as a character who grew up in a mining town, would I be aware of any monsters that frequent mines
Make a nature check.
that has something like this? Or nature? What's my nature? Great. That's a 10.
Yeah, you didn't really spend any time in the mines. You've heard whispers of, a variety of things, but you aren't sure if most of them are just tales or if they're actual things.
All right. Well, I have nothing productive to add.
Yeah, you guys keep walking on down, and eventually you find yourself in a small, almost like a clearing. It's just like a bigger room, that they've mined outwards. There appears to be like a large, almost like figure eight shaped room, with like 3 different columns of like dirt that just haven't been mined that are helping keep up the ceiling. On one side there is like a small desk with a book on it and a quill that someone appears to have been writing in, and with another tunnel that keeps going down.
Can I read what's in the book?
You go up to it. It is what language do you speak?
Common, Druidic, Elvish, and Orc.
Okay. You go up and look at it. You can't quite make it out at this point. It appears to be in a language that you don't quite understand.
Can anybody read this?
Can I read that?
What language is it?
Yeah, as you all like walk up to the table with the book on it, like, yeah, I don't think anyone can read it except for Izzy, as you speak Dwarvish.
That's what I figured.
Do you speak Dwarvish?
It appears to be a log of various ores that they've found down here. There are scrollings on it that basically catalog shipments out. So it's like a couple months ago there was a big shipment of coal that came out. A little bit after that there was like a small cart of iron, and then some more coal after that. And then the last entry in it appears to have been maybe 4 or so months ago, and it just says, "Found new rock. What is it?" ?
I relay that information. They found something new down here. It's probably what we're looking for.
Does
I
it
see.
say where, or just they found it?
Does it say where?
It doesn't
think
say
it
where,
does.
but you gather that you've been all the way back. There's only one tunnel forward.
Let's keep going forward then.
Yeah. Isabel actually will say, "It says that way," and points forward.
All right, let's go.
You said that there were other tunnels leading from this room?
No, there's just the one back and the one forward in this room.
Oh, okay.
As you all like begin to step back away from the book and begin to walk down the tunnel, Thyra, you're a perceptive individual. You see, like looking down, it curves a little bit, but you do seem to see like a faint purplish light coming from it, just from like another room down there in the past the tunnel. And as you sort of squint near it, you just feel underneath your feet another. As instead of under your feet, from ahead of you, from the side of the tunnel, you see another figure just. As another one of these mining areas has now been collapsed.
Was that the...
That was the way forward.
I feel
And
like
you're
they're
just standing
purposely
there.
stopping us.
Did I see what caused it
Hi.
this time? No, I was probably
Not
too
at the
focused on
moment.
the.
It was pretty fucking quick.
I mean, you think it's trying to stop us from getting the rock, right? Free?
Yeah, I saw the rock before it.
You saw it. All right.
Well, I saw the purple glow.
Okay, so we need to get
So-
through there. Does anybody have, like, pickaxes or anything? Maybe we can break our way through.
I have a big axe.
I'm really strong, and that's about it.
Makes sense. Okay.
I have a crowbar.
I have a
How-
spell, but it won't be
question,
very
How?
quiet.
Hold
What?
on.
I mean, we don't need to be quiet.
No, it didn't work.
Equa, during this time, I'm gonna take my bear trap and open it behind us in the cave. So if it comes up behind us while we're working, hopefully it'll
Okay.
step on it.
Are you
Can
stepping, like, in the tunnel or at the back of the cave?
In the, what do you mean?
Like the tunnel that you came from, and then it opened up into the cave. Are you setting it down in the cave?
in the
or
tunnel.
In the
In the tunnel where there's, you know, it's
Okay.
it's closer, condensed. There's not as much space to go around it.
What were you saying, Farah?
how long would it take to use my mold earth to start to clear the path again?
Let me take a look at what mold earth does. I've never used that spell before.
I was wondering if you had something like that, because that would be very handy right now.
Yeah, I was literally
I
thinking,
did,
like,
when-
I
when
wish
I-
had mold earth.
When I changed my cantrip from Shillelagh, I picked mold earth, and I regretted it
yeah.
at first.
It probably wouldn't take very long. It takes an action to do this, and you can remove up to 5 feet.
And move
The
it
tunnel's
5 feet away.
Maybe like 25 feet, and the cave in you gather is probably 10 feet down. So if you were to remove all of it, it wouldn't take that long. Maybe like a minute or so of just putting your hand up, putting your hand up.
I would
There
like,
you go. Farah has the way forward.
I would like to prepare
Wait.
an action.
Okay.
So if it seems like it's gonna collapse from her doing this, I want to cast a web on the ceiling to try and hold the rocks up.
Right. Well, before we get to that,
Okay.
as you turn around and lead back to the tunnel to put your bear trap down, you're sort of holding it, and you, like, as you're walking up, you're sort of like trying to pull it apart, getting it ready. As you step 1 foot inside the tunnel, you feel another rumble.
Shit.
As dead ahead of you, make a dex save.
Oh no!
Ooh. Ooh.
Ooh, baby.
Oh my.
15.
Okay. You take 1 point of bludgeoning damage. As another, like, stone about this big, just bink onto your pinky toe. And you're like, ow. As you all are now trapped inside this one cave. As you turn
Well-
around, Wade, and look at the rest of your group, you feel the rumbles getting bigger.
I would like to ready a web in case it collapses on us.
Okay, you ready your web. All of you have dark vision, so you can see this pretty clearly. As from one side of the wall, let me pull you over to the map. Real quick. So I can get you all to have a
Ooh.
pretty decent idea of what's happening here. As from one side of the wall, you may position yourself, so Wade, you'd be back here. The rest of you would probably be up here somewhere, looking at the tunnel ahead. As from right about here, one of these creatures emerges from the wall. You see a long snout of maybe like 5 feet long that ends in a fleshy nose with 6 protrusions of like pinkish muscle that come off of it. You see the creature appears to not have eyes and large ears that sort of flick back on the backwards of the head as it walks into the tunnel, just sort of. You see 6 legs and a long, like, flat tail that it uses to on the ground. It is like 10 feet tall and maybe like 10 feet long. Izzy and Thyra, make a nature check for me.
Not bad. 14. Not great. Not terrible.
Mm. 15.
15? Yeah, I'll say, Izzy, you've probably heard of this now that you see it. Thyra, you might have heard of this a little bit, but you've never physically seen one. You suspect that this is called a thrite. Thrites are a species sort of related to moles that are native to Emoris, that are very, very big. They're tunnelers by nature and sort of rest under the ground and pick up on little, small mammals and bugs from underneath the ground to eat. This particular one, you would know this, is called a star-nosed thrite, and it is very dangerous. As it comes in through the tunnel and looks over to you, Wade, as it sees you from putting down the trap, and immediately starts bounding towards you. When we hit next session, we'll go ahead and roll initiative. But for now, since this is friggin' nearly 11 o'clock, we're gonna end the episode there. So here, I don't. This is a homebrew monster, so I don't have a token for it. So I just got the one off of Avatar because it's kind of similar.
I was actually thinking that's what it looked like.
As you were describing it, that's what
Mhm.
I think that's what we were all picturing.
Looking at that
It's
mold.
different in real life. It's different in this world. It's just I couldn't find a picture that looked like it, so I was like, "Fucking hell, do."
All I
Um,
thought was, this is a weird looking bullet. And I was like, it's not a bullet, is it? Fuck.
It's not a bullet, no. So yeah,
Yeah.
when we get back next week, we'll roll initiative and fight this thing. I'm excited for
I want
this.
to fight it now.
I'm sorry. But thank you
Oh,
everyone for playing.
Before we go, I'll let everyone know that Isabel's favorite flower is called the Felis flower, and it only grows in caves near her home village.
Oh.
It is not a real flower, so I don't think you guys would guess it. It's from a book.
Well,
Unless
look at
any
that.
of you have read Wise Man's Fear, which is a great book. Read it.
I have not, but I'll put the flower into the game because why not?
Yeah.
But with that, thank you everyone for watching. Thank you for coming out.
Thank you for the new followers.
Thank you for the new followers. I haven't been
Yes.
thanking because I've been busy.
Hi.
Yamming. But
I will post a picture of the flower in Discord if you want to see it.
good segue, Felis. As I was
Yeah,
just
no
about to say this when you said that, for those of you who aren't following the channel, be sure to do that. If you'd like to be caught up on Emoris content, you can follow us on Twitter, or join our Discord, or subscribe on YouTube. All of the commands are ! And then the service that you want to look at. And we will be live next Monday to continue this topic. Unless we're live beforehand, but I don't think we're going to be live before then. But until then, if you are missing out on more and more content, you can go and subscribe to the YouTube. We have more episodes going up over the next couple of days, and also Q&As for this episode, so do that. I don't have anything else to say. Anyone else?
Nope.
Watch out for a new series coming soon. In the works.
Also that,
Yeah.
whatever. But with that, thank you everyone for watching. We love your faces. Let's keep making stories together, and we'll see you all next week.
Let's
Goodbye,
raid.
everybody.
Bye, everyone.
Goodbye, wash your hands, stay inside. Thank you, Nisa.